Welcome back. Now, while it's well known that hot flushes, heart palpitations and difficulty sleeping are all physical symptoms of the menopause, many people don't realise the toll that hormonal changes can take on women's mental health.
While unknowingly going through perimenopause, Lynsey Gilmartin rapidly descended into a very dark depression, attempting to take her own life before being sectioned under the Mental Health Act.
But after her GP husband, Kieran, decided she should try HRT, things quickly started to improve. They're joining us now to share the shocking story alongside renowned menopause expert, Dr. Louise Newson. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Lynsey, let's start with you. Can you take us back to the beginning, essentially, and set up the story for us?
So this is exactly 2 years ago now.
Oh, it's only 2 years?
Yeah, just 2 years ago. And I started off with anxiety. I'm not an anxious person.
No.
But this anxiety, it was about the simplest things, just daily chores. Would I get a parking space on the school run? What am I going to put on the food shop? Just really low-level things. But I recognised something had changed within me. So I got in touch with my GP practice.
Not your GP husband?
Well, he's my husband, but not my doctor.
OK.
So, but I obviously discussed it with Kieran, and it appeared as an anxiety disorder, and that's what I went
Can
expecting.
I just ask how old you were?
I was 45.
45 at the time.
Yeah. And I was placed on antidepressants, but that's what I expected. I was thinking it's an anxiety disorder, therefore that's what I would be given. But it rapidly spiralled. The anxiety got worse. I found I was getting heart palpitations. And within about 6 weeks, it was as if a light had been switched off in me. There was no joy. And you could have lined up my children with 1,000 other children. And I felt absolutely nothing.
Well, that was one of the things when I was reading about this case, was it was like you felt like you got no love inside you at all in the space of a very short period of time.
It was literally in a matter of weeks. I went from working, functioning, to just really this joy had left. And shortly after this horrible feeling of lack of emotion, the intrusive thoughts came, and I constant thoughts of suicide, and I just didn't want to be here.
Kieran, I can't imagine what that's like to process as somebody's husband, but as a medical professional as well. It must have been so confusing.
It was, because obviously, as you say, I've had experience with this over 20 years of being a doctor. But to watch your wife go through it, and it was, I could see it in her eyes. It's like she'd gone. Literally, there was nothing there. And she was always open about the thoughts, and she was able to sort of tell me all the time that I want to kill myself, I don't want to be here. And she loves our kids, you know, and it's the same case now, but it just gone. As she said, she just had nothing in her that was worth carrying on for. And it was about trying to get her the help. And obviously, we went down the route and went down the mental health route, because at that point, that's what it seemed like.
You had to be sectioned.
Yeah, I had to be sectioned.
I mean, that's an extraordinarily extreme measure to take, but it was that bad.
Yeah, Kieran was having to watch me 24/7, and it was done for safety reasons.
Because you did try to attempt to take your own life.
Yeah, at this point, I'd certainly made it quite known that that's what was going to happen. But it was later down the line that I actually
attempted.
Yeah.
So then when you got sectioned, what happened next?
I was in a inpatient facility for, I think, 6 weeks. They tried different antidepressants, different combinations, and I was also given ECT.
Electric shock.
Which was the electroconvulsive therapy, which, again, but that, you know, it's used in extreme cases. There is some really great evidence to say it will work with some mental health disorders, but nothing was really changing, and I was just... These intrusive thoughts, they were just 24/7. I can't explain it. It was like wading through treacle. It's so hard to explain, like the mental torture.
So you're having all this treatment, really extreme electric shock treatments, antidepressants. When did somebody bring up the menopause or hormones?
They didn't. They didn't. This was it. It was said as a background comment. Maybe this could be her hormones, but that was it. It was never, this could be her hormones, therefore maybe there's an alternative route. It was being treated as a mental health disorder, therefore traditional mental health therapy.
So what happened then to step over that line from it just being something people were ignoring to actually going, well, let's give it a go?
Yeah, I came out on weekend leave and saw my children for the first time in 6 weeks, and it was like being a stranger in my own home. Yeah, and then I tried to kill myself. And thankfully, it didn't go to plan. I did sustain some serious injuries. I fractured my spine and my pelvis in a few places and caused some real damage to my left foot. And I was then in a trauma orthopaedic ward. So I was out of the inpatient facility, and they were treating my physical symptoms, whereas my mental symptoms was, in fact, I was even worse then. I was sort of trapped in a physical situation as well as a mental situation.
So whose idea was it to try the HRT? Was it Kieran?
Yeah.
And what made you suddenly think, you know what, we've tried everything else. That's what it sounds like when you read it. Try it.
Because we'd done all the things that it seemed like it was.
Yeah.
So the mental health, all of the things that I thought...
So you'd done a checklist. Let's rule everything out.
And I spoke to one of the psychiatrists and got a second opinion, and it was a female psychiatrist who listened. And she said, I don't know how to prescribe it or what to do, but let's give it a go. And she was on an orthopaedic ward, but they don't know how to do it. They asked the specialist, which is the gynaecologist, and they said, speak to a GP. So the doctor spoke to me, I told them what to do, and then they prescribed it just before she was discharged.
How quick was that turnaround, Lynsey, from when you started on the
The HRT, it was literally within 28 days. It was...
You were a completely different person.
It was like waking up from a nightmare.
From attempting suicide, 28 days later.
Yeah, and I was me again, just me, and it was horrifying to sort of relive what had happened, but at the same time, I was just so grateful that it was like, I'm back.
Louise, it's extraordinary to hear this from the sidelines. It's their lived experience, which is even more terrifying for them. So thankful that they found the answer. But how it could have gone on for so long with no one thinking, hey, does anyone think this could be? She's about the right sort of age.
Yeah, and it's not rare, yeah.
It's really sad, and it's the bit that worries me the most, because it's not rocket science, any of this, because we know our hormones work in our brains. Our brain produces estradiol, progesterone, testosterone, and levels decline, most commonly in the 40s. And the commonest symptoms of perimenopause and menopause are low mood, anxiety, brain fog, memory problems, poor sleep, brain disorder, really.
Yes.
And so, but we weren't trained. I had a meeting with a lot of the doctors I worked with last night, and we were all saying we've never seen this transformational effect because we've never tried. When we were doing psychiatry training, general practice training, we weren't taught, so you don't see the results.
Yeah.
But when you do, you want to scream from the rooftops, because every day I'm being confronted by people who do have very dark thoughts, and the number of women who are in mental hospitals under psychiatrists who aren't able to access HRT is staggering, not just in the UK, but globally.
I mean, you're a GP, Kieran. Yeah. Since this experience, have you sort of suddenly started going, GPs need more training in what's happening with menopause and perimenopause?
I think it's also resources.
Right.
You know, as we all know, general practice, like the NHS is struggling, and we're in an election year, and they're all talking about it, but they need to put the money where their mouth is. And we need that support for the resources, for the training, to assist us in doing the job as well as we could do it.
Yeah.
But we need the people, we need the time.
And how are you feeling now? You look amazing.
Yeah, you do. I feel great now. It was literally like a really awful period in my life, and it ended. And then I'm back to me, and I just think I had no idea that I was perimenopausal. Absolutely, it wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
So it can't just be me.
No. It's not just you.
No, it isn't.
And that's the point, isn't it? Louise is going to be here a little bit later on with our phone-in on your menopause questions. We've been absolutely inundated with people who want some answers and want some help, just like you as well. So fingers crossed we can find that help. Thank you for sharing your story, though. It's great to meet both of you.
Thank you very much.
Louise, we'll see you in just a bit.
Thank you, Lynsey. Also, still to come, as June gets off to a chilly start, Laura Paddy's helping you look great, come rain or come shine. She'll be joining us with her tips for your summer wardrobe, whatever the weather.
And she spent £1 million morphing into a human Barbie doll. But is Jessica Alves finally ready to say goodbye to surgery? She's going to be joining us on the sofa to reveal why she feels more confident than ever. See you after the break. Welcome back now. Time to tick. Time is ticking.
It is,
So
and quickly.
We need to tick it off for Linda Barker. She's very busy transforming our lovely viewers Natalie's front room after surprising her first thing this morning.
But with only 30 minutes to go until everything has to be ready, will she be able to get it done in time? It is time to check in with the team. Linda, how are you?
We are so busy, Kat. I can't believe it. Yes, 30 minutes. Ridiculous. I am so stressed. I've got the wallpaper going on still. They started off really well at the start of the day, but they're still doing it now. I've got the electrician working. I've got this sofa going in.
Linda, I need you.
I honestly don't know whether the sofa's going to fit. Anyway, my right-hand woman needs me. We need to get finished. I'll see you in a bit.
Great stuff.
Thank
right
you
then.
very
Time's
much.
ticking. You've got 20 minutes now, Linda. 20 minutes.
Not long. Now, after a particularly chilly start to June, searches for women's summer coats have increased by 40%,
Wow.
according to John List. That's big. With sales of trench coats also soaring by 272% compared to last year.
Yeah, if the unpredictable weather has left you struggling to work out what to wear, the Laura Putty is here to help. Just a reminder, of course, you can get the details of all the products you're about to see by scanning the QR code on the screen or going to the This Morning app. Laura, tell us what you got.
What do we do? What do we do?
So, do you know what? That is the dilemma. Is it rain? Is it shine? You know, nobody knows. So we all know we're leaving the house. It's one type of weather, one season, and then by midday it's another.
Yeah.
So I have got 4 looks today, and I'm showcasing different weathers and different looks.
Okay.
So first up we have Tendai,
Yes.
and Tendai is chilly with a
Tendai.
chance of rain.
Hey,
Ooh.
And she's looking absolutely stunning in this layered look.
Layers.
Yes, it's all
are
about the
key.
layers. Absolutely key. So this look, I have to say, this trench is just amazing. And it's a key piece of the look, and it's from Primark at £45. And we've started with this lovely jumper over the shoulders. So it's kind of a bit of a fashion thing to do that. But you can also whip it over your dress if it's chilly, as we know it currently is. So we're going to whip off this top layer so we can show the amazing dress underneath.
I
Thank you so
love
much,
this
my lovely.
sleeve.
So this dress is incredible. It is from anothersunday.com. So it's the do-it-all dress. It's £60. It's got these amazing floaty sleeves, and you can wear it just as we styled it here, casually with a gorgeous crossbody bag and the trainers. So the bag is from Georgia Asda at £6. The trainers are Matalan at £19. But if you wanted to wear this another way, you just style it up with a gorgeous pair of sandals. You know, just because you buy this dress for a wedding or the races doesn't mean you can't wear it in a different way. And
No.
we absolutely love this. So come rain or shine, this is a great go-to look. And you feel amazing, don't you?
It's really good.
Yeah, it
Did you
is.
have a trench? Have you got a trench coat?
I've got a trench. I've got lots of trench coats.
Me
so
too.
I'm just thinking, I might, yeah.
I've got about 3, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it could be because
They're a staple.
It's
They're a
the
staple.
perfect throw-over
Yeah.
for this kind of weather, I
Absolutely
think.
love it. Thank you so much, Tendai.
Thanks,
Tendai.
Tendai. You
Thank you.
look beautiful.
So next up, we have Sue. And Sue is warm with a chance of showers.
Oh, well,
Sue.
hello, Sue.
And she's carrying the accessory of the season, the umbrella. So
Mary
this is
Poppins.
an amazing sort of, just a really kind of do-it-all outfit. Gorgeous summery dress, but then layered with the all-important denim jacket. So
Yep.
the dress is M&S at £35. Really easy, throw it on. And then we've got the denim jacket from Next at £34. Now, a light jacket is perfect for this kind of weather, so it keeps you warm, but also it's a staple in anybody's wardrobe. You can layer this up in the winter as well, stick it under sort of a bigger coat. We've gone with these lovely faux leather boots. Now, faux leather is important because they are shower-proof, which is really important when it's raining. This is all about, if it's raining out there, this is the perfect
Being
look for you.
prepared.
So these are kind of a Western-style boot from Pretty Little Thing. They were £52 and they're now £28.50. And like I said, the accessory of the season has to be the umbrella.
Yeah.
So this is going to give you amazing coverage. It's bright and it's colourful, so it's going to bring the sunshine when there is none. And it's from Next at £22. Oh, and not forgetting the earrings. Always got to finish off with a nice little accessory. We know I like my accessories.
Yeah.
These are peacocks at £4. But yeah, just a really easy outfit.
Those shoes are brilliant because they're actually like glorified wellies, really, but very fashionable, very chic.
Yes.
They look good. That's
Look, mate.
always where
They're the
I
most stylish
struggle.
wellies I've
Is the
The boot with the
base
dress
layer.
is a real thing this summer as well.
Works.
Yeah, it
Perfect
looks
for the weather.
great.
I'm going to have to say thank you so much.
Thank
my
you.
lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. No. So next up, we have got the lovely Nikki, and Nikki is wearing City Break chic.
Oh, yes, she
Absolutely gorgeous. The breast
That's a
on it.
trench with no sleeves.
Yes, it's a trench dress, Ben, to
Trench
be
dress, there
precise.
you go,
A
see?
trench dress. So you were halfway there.
I've got that bag, but that's the dupe of it, isn't it?
So this is mango. So we'll get to that in a little minute. So this is all about, whether you're in Portsmouth or Paris, this is kind of your day tripping outfit. So it's a layered look. So we've got this classic Breton from thisisunfolded.com at £24. It's a lovely brand, all about sustainability. They do really small collections and they're available in 6 to 24 sizing wise. The dress is from River Island. So like Ben said, it's like a trench, but it's a sleeveless trench in dress format. Gorgeous detailing with the buttons, the belt, and the lovely the buckle. This is from River Island at £50. And the wonderful thing with this dress is you can wear it so many different ways. This outfit's about day tripping. So in the morning, chilly, wear the top. In the afternoon, warm, with the top
I mean,
on.
you could even pop that in the bag, couldn't you?
You could, and this is why we've chosen this very bag from Mango at £45.99. Designer-inspired, really classic and gorgeous. And then we've got these gorgeous shoes from Next at £35, pop of colour, and also they've got the comfort sole, which is like a cushioning. So perfect for walking around all day.
Sightseeing.
I could do with a bit of that.
Oh, couldn't we all?
It looks great. Do you like this?
I love it, yes, yeah.
It's really
Super.
You look
Yes,
fab. Thank you so much, Nikki. And then we have our, last but not least, we have the lovely Jerry. And Jerry is from Suffolk to Santorini. Jerry's actually going on holiday next week. And she wanted an outfit that was going to be perfect for her suitcase to take away with her, but also something she could wear at home. So we've gone with this amazing dress from Nobody's Child. It was £79, it's now £45. Now, it's all organic cotton, absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous scalloped edge detail, which is a big trend this summer. And then we've got the trophy jacket. Again, a really big trend at the moment. Really heavy embroidery on that. And you can wear it so many different ways. It's from Love and Roses at Next for £60. Got this amazing bag, just crossbody, Zara, £22.99. And then the trainers are classic Converse, again with a bit of embroidery, and they're from Converse at Shoe. We're actually going to do a quick change with Jerry. So this is how Jerry would wear the outfit here, but we're going to bring a couple of extra accessories over to show how she's going to wear it on holiday. It's got these gorgeous flats.
Yeah, I got you.
Getting involved.
I got you.
You've got the trophy jacket. Why is a trophy jacket not a cardigan?
A trophy jacket's more on trend, Ben, you see.
Yeah,
look, Kat's going to get it on. So these are just amazing little sandals from Zara at £35.99. And we've got this amazing bag, so you can't go wrong with a good wicker basket. Primark at £14. And then the finishing touch is your sunglasses. So the sunglasses are Primark £3.50, so hopefully the sun's going to come out. But a gorgeous way just to wear this look slightly differently.
We should go on holiday together.
Come on, then,
You should.
I'll borrow yours, you borrow mine.
The fit of this dress is absolutely stunning, and you look amazing.
Thank you.
Pop it in your suitcase.
This is brilliant for a night as well. You know when it goes a bit chillier at night to throw over your shoulders? Look fab.
Gorgeous.
Amazing.
Thank
you so much, Jerry.
Thank you.
Right then, in just a moment, if you're one of the millions of women struggling with menopause, Dr. Louise Newson will be here taking calls in today's phone-in.
And after having over 100 procedures in order to achieve the body of her dreams, we'll be talking to Jessica Alves about her next quest, finding love and becoming a mum. We'll see you after the break.
Hi there, welcome back. Competition time now. Simple as that. Good luck.
Good luck, good luck. Now, as we continue our Women's Health Week, menopause expert Dr. Louise Newson is sharing her advice in today's phone-in. We've had so many calls on this. I think literally as soon as we opened the lines, it was kind of, we almost couldn't cope. Our first caller this morning is Claire. Good morning, Claire.
Oh, hi, good morning.
Good morning. What's your question?
Oh, hi, yeah. I had a hysterectomy about 3 years ago now. I kept my ovaries, but I'm going through all the symptoms of the menopause. My doctors won't do anything because they're saying I've still got my ovaries, so they won't start me on HRT. Sorry.
Take your time, Claire, don't worry.
Yeah, do.
And I just... Sorry.
Don't worry, look, so what we know is,
You have constant brain fog and mood swings. The question that Claire is asking is, would she be eligible for HRT?
Yeah, and I'm really sorry to hear
like it could
you're
help.
struggling. We know that the ovaries are very closely connected to the womb, of course, and when the womb is removed, ovaries are likely to fail earlier than they would do otherwise. But your ovaries can stop working at any age, so it could be a coincidence or it could be triggered by the operation. We know that when people have a hysterectomy, they can experience menopausal symptoms. And if you feel it's related to your hormones, then it is worth trying. And often in medicine, we do what's called a therapeutic trial. We try a medicine and see if it helps. It sounds like HRT, possibly with testosterone, might help you. So often we try it and see, and that's the only way of knowing, because doing a blood test isn't going to diagnose.
How long is the trial period? If Claire did manage to get it on trial, how long would she try it
it's
for?
a good question. Normally for 3 months.
OK.
And I say but because if you don't improve or you start to improve and you're still having symptoms, you might not be on the right dose or type. So we might need to change the formulation, change the dose, or add in a hormone like testosterone. So it's definitely worth seeing someone who understands hormones.
Oh, Claire, hopefully you can get them to help you with that, because it sounds like you could do with some support, certainly. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
Let's go to Lorraine, who's in Cheshire. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Ben. I'm 56. I had a hysterectomy 25 years ago. I've been on patches for about 5 years, but they've just been increased up to 75, but I'm still got the low mood, irritable, can't sleep, and the brain fog.
The patches are helping with the hot flushes. You say that's where they are good?
Yeah, they're good with the hot flushes, but nothing else, really.
OK. Louise?
So we're all different, aren't we? We all respond differently. And the best way of having oestrogen is through the skin, because it goes straight in as the active estradiol into the bloodstream. But sometimes the absorption isn't good, so sometimes people do need different doses. But there's also other hormones, progesterone and testosterone. We know testosterone can help with libido, but it can also help with mood, energy, concentration, stamina. So it would be worth going back and thinking about optimising your hormones. I always say to patients, it is impossible to know how many of your symptoms are related to your hormones. But what we can do as menopause specialists is rebalance the hormones in a physiological way, have the right dose and type for that individual, and then see what other symptoms are left, rather than presuming it's all due to something not related to hormones.
Because Lorraine said she was at 75. Is that the maximum, or how?
No, there isn't. The maximum licensed dose is 100, but those studies have actually been done on less than 40 women for 4 days. And so we all know that our
4 days.
Do they even count as a study?
Well, precisely. So, but we know it's basic pharmacology. Our skin is a barrier. We rub on sun cream and don't want it in our bloodstream. And certainly with the patches, the glue is where the oestrogen is. So if your patches don't stick on very well, you're going to need more to get the same amount through the skin. So sometimes we do use higher doses just to get the same amount through the skin into the bloodstream.
Lorraine, have you spoken to your GP about the struggles that you're having?
I have, yeah, and that's why they just increased it to 75. But I'm also on a clinical breast trial, and this week I've had a call, and they said through my DNA, my risk of breast cancer is really high. So they didn't recommend patches, the HRT, so I needed to speak about that.
So they've told you to stop, or they've been stopping the HRT because you have this risk of breast cancer?
Yeah, well, he said speak to my GP because he doesn't really advise me to stay on. But I don't want to give it up because I don't want the hot flushes back.
So I think it's really great for bringing that up, because it's actually really reassuring news. We know, and there's another study that came out in the last few weeks looking at all the randomised control studies of women who've had oestrogen after a hysterectomy, and those women have a lower incidence of breast cancer. So oestrogen on its own is protective. It reduces risk of breast cancer. So even women who have an increased risk because of genetic risk or family history risk, you might still have an increased risk, but taking oestrogen is going to reduce that risk, not increase it further, and also reduces risk of other diseases, as you know.
So why is Lorraine being advised to come off it?
Almost the opposite.
It's like we said earlier, often it's due to lack of the right education.
Wow.
Oh, Lorraine, so frustrating for you.
Absolutely. Don't know who's right from who's wrong.
Yeah. Who does she trust?
Louise has been into my place of work and did a talk there, which I missed, but she gave some great advice, I believe. So.
Brilliant.
She is. We need to get her back to do it again if you missed it last time.
For sure.
Fingers crossed you can find the right dose and get that sorted for you, Lorraine. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
OK, thanks, Ben.
The next one now is from Debbie. She says, I've been taking antidepressants for 20 years, but now I feel like my symptoms are now similar to the menopause. Brain fog, lack of confidence, low libido, and it's really beginning to affect my relationship with my husband and family. I'm considering hormone replacement as opposed to antidepressants. kind of like Lynsey, a little. There's traces of Lynsey in there. What do you think?
The thing is, you have to think about in medicine, what are the risks of not having a treatment?
Yes.
So the risks of not having it is that the symptoms could continue. The HRT we prescribe now, body-identical hormones, are very, very safe. They don't have the risk of breast cancer, they don't have a risk of clot or stroke. So they are very safe, and they also reduce risk of diseases. Even starting in older women help strengthen bones, for example. So actually, there might be a risk of not having it. To try it and see, then she'll know how much is related. And we know that antidepressant prescribing has increased so much since people have reduced taking HRT. This study that scared people 20 years ago, 30% of women were taking HRT who are menopausal. It's now about 14%.
Wow.
Antidepressant prescribing has, you know, the curves have changed.
So is there any downside to trying it?
No.
So just go for it.
So go for it, go for
we'll
it.
say go for it, Debbie. Definitely give it a go. This one's come from Joan. Very similar story to Lynsey. I was placed in a psychiatric hospital for 4 months in 2019, wrongly diagnosed with clinical depression. I just had severe menopause symptoms. Although I wasn't sectioned, Lynsey was, of course, I was told I would be if I wouldn't go voluntarily. I was put on strong medication, including antipsychotics, to help me sleep. It was a horrific experience, so I deeply resonate with Lynsey's story. Is that happening all too often, isn't it?
Yeah, we see a lot of people in psychiatric hospitals. And the other thing is, just to add really, is that you can have two diagnoses. You can be clinically depressed and be menopausal. So you can have two drugs together. Antipsychotics often increase something called prolactin, which reduces our hormones. So it might actually make people more menopausal as well.
Okay.
So I do a lot of training for psychiatrists, and we can have more than one condition in medicine.
Yeah.
So I'm not here saying every mental health illness is due to menopause, but we have to remember menopause as well.
One really quick one here about progesterone. I'm a 54-year-old woman and I've been on HRT for 5 years. I had a hysterectomy at 20 due to carcinoma of cervix with both ovaries. I've recently become aware of the importance of the role of progesterone, but the problem is my doctor will not prescribe it to me, saying I do not need it as I no longer have a womb.
Yeah, so we can use progesterone to protect the lining of the womb. She hasn't got a womb, but progesterone is produced by our brain. It works as a neurotransmitter. It affects every single cell in our body. So actually, it's very anti-inflammatory. It can be a very beneficial hormone systemically. So it can be considered for people too.
So should Mary push to get some?
She could certainly talk about it. And there's lots of evidence on the website. I did an Instagram Live last weekend just about progesterone, which you can watch and give her more information.
I'd check that out, Mary, because that could be really helpful. Louise, thank you.
So many questions.
Sorry,
I think
we haven't got through more.
you'll be back again,
Yeah,
I
you
think,
will.
very,
No
very
question.
soon.